Alright, time for a Mundo game. Now, people seem to have really enjoyed the video I did for Nocturne yesterday, for like very basics to carrying with that champion. So I'm gonna do a small mini series for the champions I would recommend people to play. Very like straightforward concepts. I'm gonna stick to them the entire time. No matter what happens in the game, I will stick to the same concept so you guys can see consistency of it. Obviously, jungle is a very adaptable role, so that is, yeah. But we're gonna stick to this literally the same thing over and over again and see how to do it really. So on Mundo, I would highly recommend you to just start clearing top side, no matter what side of the map you are on. Clear top, make a pathing towards bot side, and just do that basically the entire time. That's what I'll be doing here. You do not need a leash on this champion because you have your Q. This is just like, if you want to learn the clear for this, just go into the practice tool real quick and just do it a couple times. It will come pretty quickly for the most part. Okay, that is awkward. But fine, whatever. I am a ghost down now, I guess. It's fine. No problem. Cool. And then we finish this off. Basically, most of your damages comes from the cleavers, being current HP damage. So try not to smite early with Mundo, basically, because you want to have the cleaver do the most damage to the camp as possible. The lower the camp gets, the lower the damage of your cleaver is going to be. So you want to definitely be careful for that. But just make sure that your cleaver hits the big one of the camp over and over again, and you will be fine. Alright, so to quickly interrupt this video, I want to say that I am currently very close to 50k subscribers. Only about 600 away now. So, well, if you do enjoy my content, consider subscribing. About 65% of the people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So, yeah, very close to 50k. Would be greatly appreciated. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Here as well, leading into this camp, you literally just land the Q like that. And then just group them together, hit the E here, and then land the big Q again. I missed one auto attack on that one, so I'm going to have to land the Q on that one here, and then just kill this with E. Drag the red buff in while landing Qs. You don't want to use your another Q there on the camp again, because you want to use your Q for more damage, or more like higher HP damage on the previous camp, basically. I'm a little wonky this clear, but having the potion fixes everything. Clear this, and then again, keep hitting the big one. You can smite this out as well, making it very nice and easy. And you have like a 3-ish minute full clear. If I would have done it properly, would have done it like a 3-ish minute full clear, but okay. Still very, very fast, as you can see. So this looks quite good. We're going to max the Q first. And we're just going to see if a bot lane gank is an option. You can sweep here with your sweeper into it real quick if you want to have this option. Kind of just waiting a little for the skull to spawn. The bot lane gank isn't an option. That is completely fine. If you see the enemy jungler on the map, throw a couple of danger pings on the jungler real quick. That's always nice. Yes, 20 farm. It's something to note about that is that he will always skip out on the, like he would have always skipped out on the camp. We can check if it's his Gromp. Most likely not the case, but if it would have been, that would have been good. And since we have nothing to really do here, we're just gonna recall. Now obviously the bot lane is getting engaged on here, but I've already said I was gonna do this. Take the pickaxe. We're gonna go into the Tiamat first. So we see, like what we see here as well, the top lane is getting pushed in. So we can instantly go for like, instead of doing this camp right now, if you see the top lane pushed in like this, you just ping out of base that you're going to be on your way. And then you just run top lane. Like straight up. This guy has positioned himself here. If he would have positioned himself here, you just go for this camp instead and just play off the reset. But because he positioned himself in front of the turret of... Ooh. This guy is going for the fight. Very interesting. Don't fear me, obviously, and we have lethal tempo, so we should win. But the one thing I want you to not be is afraid when you're playing Mundo. Like, you will win most 1v1s against most junglers. Because, like there, the Nocturne, he can't fear me, right? Also, I have gotten a recall in, which is also a big thing to remember. If you get a recall in, you're obviously going to be much stronger than the enemy jungler who hasn't gotten his recall in. So if you can look at that as well, going into any of the fights, especially early game, it is very big to do that, because then you will notice if you are much stronger or not. Even if I wouldn't have had the pickaxe, that Nocturne wouldn't have stood a chance because I am just stronger than him in any early 1v1 fight. Mundo beats pretty much all junglers if you're going to go for a lethal tempo build in early 1v1 fights. So that's why I just go for the fight. Obviously, having the pickaxe gave me an additional advantage, so he stood even less of a chance. But yeah, don't have to worry about CC. And I just want you to commit the fights on Mundo. Just don't be afraid. If you lose the fight, that's fine. But most of the time, you'll come out ahead if you just auto-attack. Just auto-attack and use your E as an auto-attack reset. Make sure to try to land your Q and click your abilities, and you will be fine. And then we just keep clearing here. Now, in this situation here, their bot lane is quite far pushed in. Okay, I just got spotted by the... I'll zone the Nico away then. Can't get comboed. There is the Nocturne. They're gonna have to be careful here. That Nico rotation there kind of made things a little awkward. Okay, well, it's all good. We're just gonna recall then. Nothing else to play for. Just press recall. Don't stick around for too long. It's most of the time kind of pointless. Like making a dance for like 30 years there is really not going to do much. My jungle camps will be respawning relatively soon. And then for the top lane gank here once again, the wave is pushed in. So if the Teemo does show himself currently, we can just do the same thing as I said earlier, right? Like we just walk in the top lane first. And then we look if the gank's possible. Like look if we can see if we can do something. And otherwise we're just going to clear our camps again. Now, a dragon would have been something I would have looked for if my bot lane had more priority. Like, let's say I would have finished my clear and I would have gone into bot lane there. Okay, Teemo does show. That's good. And then we just smite this, and then we just walk up top lane. He is level 6, so I'm going to have to walk around the bush here because he most likely would have placed the ward thing in the bush. Use your abilities. There we go. Beautiful kill. So again there, he walked up, we go for it. Now my jungle camps are going to be respawning, so we're just going to take them again. This similar concept works for the other side of the map as well, by the way. Like you come out of base, you see the enemy top laner push your top laner around the turret, the wave is under there, you just go for the top gank. If that's not the case, you don't go for the top gank, you just go for your camps and clear down. That's what I'm going to do here. Now, what I want to look for here is look for this objective, right? I want to play for and towards the dragon as much as possible. That's why I'm mainly starting topside as well. There are other reasons to start topside, but that's one of the big reasons. Like, I'm permanently clearing towards the dragon. So anytime I get a good opportunity now, I will instantly do this dragon. I would have done it previously, but the situation was very awkward. My bot lane was getting pushed in, Nico was rotating and stuff like that. So that obviously doesn't allow for a dragon. But right now, we are finishing our camps first. Again, as a priority. Finish your camps first. Always just keep the full clear rotation. He takes dragon. Completely acceptable. No problem. If that happens to be the case, that happens to be the case. It's absolutely fine. So basically what that means, we just finish our clear here. We just recall right away. I mean, unless we can get a bot lane gank off here. Like if the bot lane would walk up, which is not going to be the case here because they're under turret, we'd go bot lane. Similar rule to top lane, right? We don't see an opportunity on bot lane here. We just press recall. We're going to go for this, and then we're just going to walk up to the Rift Herald. Try to trade the objective here. If I would have had enough money for Titanic, that would have been really nice, but I don't, so it's completely fine. Yeah. Now, we can see here, Teemo currently not pushed in. If he's going to push out this wave, I would take the priority of ganking Teemo first and then doing Rift Herald after. Same concept again for like the camps here. But, yeah, okay, he's actually going to walk up, so I actually do have this option now. So we're going to see. We're going to just walk up. Check the Rift Herald first. Where did he go? He probably is invisible somewhere, perhaps. Clear these things real quick. I don't know. Teemo is a very slippery fella. Alright, no problem. We just go for Herald then. Teemo left. Whatever. Make sure to not get hit by the dash of the Herald, by the way, playing Mundo here. Because you don't want to lose your passive. If there is a fight that's going to go on Herald, you'd rather have your passive up rather than lose it. A couple of assist pings, hopefully. There's the passive. There we go. And now we click ults. Ahri is very late here, unfortunately, but try to only ult when you're low HP for the most part. There we go. Because that's going to give you more healing and more damage. So it's very important to ult on low HP. If I would have had a faster Ahri there, that play would have been much cleaner. Can this guy land his charm, please? Just ult, my guy. Please. I mean, obviously lower elo. I can't expect too much of my teammates, so I do have to keep that in mind. Okay, good. Gonna run here. No reason. Okay, I'm just gonna have to ghost here at this point because my Ari is completely abandoning me once again. It's okay. This type of behavior from your teammates is just to be expected. I would just expect them to do nothing, so you don't have weird expectations. I don't know if that makes sense. Yeah. I think you get what I mean, but you do have to be a bit careful there. It's a little risky there. Could have ended badly, perhaps, but as you can see, Mundo is extremely strong. I waited with my ult on low HP. I made sure to use my W for some gray health healing as well. If you can look back at the fight, you'll see that too. So, yeah, basically that. See here. We're gonna just clear our camps once again. We have this opportunity right now. And this is a little bit of a fight there on top side. Darwin went mid. Okay. Man, I could insta-run mid lane here, right? But I am just taking my priority to take the camps first. If then something happens on mid lane, then I will go mid lane. But I'm not gonna deviate too much from just like good rotations here towards my camp. Because those will always take a priority. This is all good. Okay. Nocturne is bot lane. We are in the area, so if he does go for an engage, we can follow things up. Potentially. Make sure to clear this, and we'll just keep an eye out. It's something to note if they're pushed in like this. I can look to walk like this for the gank angle, or like for a counter gank angle. If something is up. I do have quite a bit of gold, but I am very strong at the moment, so I should be fine for the most part. I'm gonna position myself nicely, see if the enemy team makes any type of engage, which they do. You want to wait for them to jump in before you go for anything. And then just clean things up. Make sure to start auto-attacking. Hold to your ult the entire time. Don't click your ult at any point. It's not necessary. You just want to make sure you only ult when you get low HP on Mundo. And no other reason. Okay. Wanted to... and basically here, you just get the turret kind of low. And then now I have a good opportunity to use the Rift Herald. Using the Rift Herald costs you 10 seconds to place it and then for it hit the turret. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're getting to like the end of the timing, when the turret plays disappear at 14 minutes, you want to make sure you have placed the Rift Herald in turret range before 1350. Otherwise, it's not going to be hitting the turret in time, which would be quite bad. I'm pushing this out because I want to make sure that I want to try to get this to bounce at least. If it can bounce, that'd be beautiful. Pressure a little bit there with a Q, and then we just walk out. The bounce here is like half the turret's HP, so this is very beneficial. Now, the problem here is, like, you might think, okay, Dragon's a great opportunity. It's not. It really isn't, because right now, the entire enemy team is alive, and their potential to counter us on Dragon right now is way too high. I have too much money to afford to go for a play like that, so I am just not going to do it. I'm going to refuse to... go for the Dragon there with this amount of gold that I had, because they just recall, they all just died, they just reset, and it's just not going to be a play. If they get the Dragon here now, this is okay, but I'd rather not die, especially being worth a big shutdown. I'm just going to keep it consistent, and the same rule as I said earlier, we're just going to go for our topside camps again. The Teemo isn't pushed in right now, so we're not going to go for the top gank, but yeah. The Dragon is too risky there. I don't want to die for free. If they get Dragon now, it's okay. Could be different in different situations, different scenarios, absolutely. But I'm just going to stick to the same rule as I mentioned in the start of this game. So we full clear down. If they haven't done Dragon by that time, we will take Dragon, which they have, which is fine. But on that amount of gold, I do not recommend doing Dragon like that, because it's just too risky. You're going to lose a lot if you die there. And I'd rather lose one Dragon than give 1,000 gold shutdown to whoever. This is like an angle on mid that I can definitely see something happening in. He goes in. I will just go fight the Nocturne. Start hitting him. And now we just do Mundo things, basically. Get low HP. Should be okay here. Hopefully. Nope, that's actually a little bit too much damage to them. A lot of AP damage coming in there. I don't have too much magic resist at the moment. It's okay. Getting locked in the box there by Jarvan was my biggest problem, obviously, because I had less mobility and it was easier to get hit by Kokmar things, where he could just hit me the entire time, so that's definitely not ideal. The Nocturne blind obviously doesn't help us in a team fight because my team doesn't see anything, so that's something we keep in mind. But yeah, it's okay. Death there isn't too bad. It's okay. I mean, I did give the shutdown to, I believe, Kokmar. Yeah, I did. So that does suck. But the double ult combo, or mostly the Jarvan ult, to be fair, because if I'm not stuck in a box like that, I wouldn't really have any issues surviving for the most part. But yeah. So outside of the jungle here, we're just gonna do this camp first. It's okay. The death there is not too big of a deal. It happens, man. Not god mode enough to survive that. Also, Kokmar is an HP based champion with Blade of the Rune King, so obviously he's gonna do better into Mundo. Like if you have a crit 80 carry that you're facing instead of a Kokmar, right? Like if I'm facing, I don't know, like Jinx, I would be extremely unlikely to die there. So that would be an entirely different scenario. At this moment in time, we have nothing else up but the Rift Herald. So we just want to look for this if possible. I just really... My Trendemir is just absolutely reclined or something. That sucks. Trendemir? Can you, like, rotate, please? Okay. AFK teammates. I see how it is. He's just still top lane. Okay, then. That's interesting. Ah, I got ignited. That's annoying. Kill him first. We should go for Nico here. I mean, the entire play would have been straight free if the Trendemir would have just walked down and helped us. So I guess that is the unfortunate situation about this ELO. I want to say, like, at this moment in time, try not to commit too hard to walking in and tanking too much free damage. I see a lot of mentality for like, oh, I'm playing a very heavy tank champion. Well, sure, but you would still die in those situations, right? Like, you don't want to go tank 4 people and you don't have a team behind you to actually follow you up, because then you would be tanking damage for no reason. And that's why I didn't really walk into that quickly. Again, this kind of out of my control due to the Trendemir pushing that top wave situation instead of just rotating down towards the Herald and actually just showing up for the fight. Which is gonna happen. Like, obviously, like, this is the teammates people are complaining about, obviously. I get it. So, don't overcommit to a play that's not gonna result in anything. So, is definitely something I wanna convey there. You saw me not overcommit to that play whatsoever. So we're gonna see if they walk up to us, which they do. So we just wait for that. He's dead. He just used this, what do you call it? The boy just used his Fractal, so he actually doesn't have EQ to escape now. So all I have to do is just walk up to him. Dead. Okay. I landed my Q and then Velko's Q finished him off. Herald's used on mid lane. Might die real quick. Clean that up. Walk in here. There's no turret here. I have I'm just way too strong basically, so it should be fine. As long as my team actually helps me, which probably unlikely at this point. I don't know if Trendemir is gonna... Oh, he's moving. He's moving. Okay, cool. Good. Enough assist pings might help you to the point where it will be fine. That's annoying. Teemo streams hurt. Teemo streams hurt a lot. Even. It's fine. I can't get hit by that snare. But... Okay. Well, I guess I really didn't get to do much there, did I? Got, like, Nico ulted me and then insta-flashed out, basically. And then, yeah, I guess. Wow. Actually kind of a struggle there, getting into anything. Nocturne ult also blinding me is kind of annoying because it obviously makes my teamfight awareness a lot worse. So that does make things a little bit more difficult. I do definitely need this dragon. At this stage in the game, your clear becomes a little bit less priority. So right now we're just going to finish off until I hit level 13, basically. Wait a little bit for my team to get on the map, and then we just move towards dragon. We do not want to give him 3rd, 4th dragons. That's going to be really bad. But as you can see, my consistency so far has paid off in about a 70 CS lead, which is absolutely massive. Because I'm 3 levels ahead of him right now. And obviously Mundo scales really well. So you have that going for you too. Gonna hit the ward here real quick so they don't deal with that. And then we're just gonna sweep as well so we can't get a Nocturne ult in here. Smite. All we needed. I'd rather back off right now. Now a big thing to look for is can you buy your next item, which is going to be Radiant Virtue for me. I cannot yet, so I'm going to finish a couple of camps to be able to afford it. I'm going to do my Krugs here, and then I should have enough money, perhaps. Maybe a little bit off, but it should be fine. Hopefully my team is careful enough that they don't die. That's all I can do. For me right now, it doesn't make sense to go join that fight with 3,200 gold in my inventory. If your team ints, they int. So it is what it is. The only thing you can do is just back spam ping in those situations and just pray that they don't run it down, which they kind of did, I suppose. It could have ended much worse though, I guess, so it's fine. But yeah, in a situation like that, please don't take an engage with like more than 3,000 gold in your inventory. It's just not worth it. There's no objective that's going to necessarily be contested here at the moment. They could technically Baron, but it'd be unlikely, really. So if there's a bigger threat of Baron, then obviously if your team dies, it'd be a lot worse. But yeah. Go. Keep a somewhat consistent clear in here. And now we're going to just... This moment in game, we're going to start pressing a little bit. Like, we're going to start pressing forward a little bit and seeing if we can clean some stuff up here. Take some of the enemy junglers' camps, perhaps. We see the Teemo walked up, so we're going to walk in behind Teemo. If the Trenimir would walk up with me, that'd be greatly appreciated, but I don't think he will. Yeah, my Trenimir is kind of slacking behind. Doesn't have the best map awareness, I suppose. It's okay. Like, all you can do in situations like that is just ping a bunch of assist pings. If they happen to show up, they show up. If they don't, then they don't. It is what it is. Okay, good. Fine. Plant's gone now. Quickly catch the mid wave here. Quickly snipe this out. I just want to make sure I pressure. Okay, keep a consistent pressure on the waves as much as I can right now. Gonna engage not on me probably, but on someone else. There it is. Gonna press Ghost here. Bring this up. Just auto attack a bunch. You can always like look for Nocturne by looking for his path thing. I have passive up, so I'm just gonna run this guy down. He can't CC me, he can't hit me, he's just dead. This is like one of the things with Mundo. You just want to like basically just charge at them. I'm gonna do Baron here. Baron is a good call right now. Enemy jungler is dead. Nothing they can really defend for, so it should be fine. Clean that up real quick at the level up, because any level up is worth it. I would have done like... It wouldn't have mattered to take this really if I wasn't very close to a level up, but if I get the extra level up, I will definitely take it. I'll just tank Baron. Whoever tanks Baron gets this Baron gaze debuff for 50% less damage on Baron. So, yeah. Something to think about really, I suppose. Finish that off. Good. I obviously need a good amount of magic resist here. A Force of Nature is actually a really good item here. But... Again, Mundo is Mundo. The increase in healing from Spirit Visage actually topples Force of Nature in a lot of situations. Because of the extra healing being so valuable on this champion, it is most of the time actually better to just go for Spirit Visage. It really does suck that my Caitlyn just took that camp from me, because I am 200 gold away from this. I guess a mid-wave could suffice. Big item hunting. I'm like 140 gold away. That's, yeah, really unfortunate. Caitlyn didn't take the camp. I probably would have been fine. Walk pretty aggressive here. We see a Kokma. We're just gonna see, like, we see anybody out of position like this at this stage in the game, you just walk at them. Like right here from behind. They have no escape paths. They're just dead. Nico is here as well. Doesn't matter. Run him down. Good. Hit the cleaver. Let's hit. There we go. All we really needed. Like, you just look for anything like that, right? Anything that you see a single person walk slightly out of position like that, or very far in this case, go for them. Just walk at them. Try to look at your map. Look for those options. And then as soon as you see those options, go for them. Now, priority for me here would definitely be looking for this dragon. So I'm gonna do that. Because I just want to keep you to the rule of anytime you get have an opportunity for an objective, try to take it. I will. I'll do the blue here real quick, and then I just will do the dragon, regardless of what my team does right now. They might win, they might lose. It's all good. I could definitely potentially help the fight, but for me, as a rule, prioritizing objectives is absolutely massive. So I would recommend doing that. There you go. Finish this off, and I'll just take the recall, because walking up now is just not going to be a play anymore, right? That's just way too far forward. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to see what we need. Do I really need armor? I don't, honestly. I really don't need any extra armor besides this. Like, this is more than enough. So I can just stack double magic resist here, honestly. We're just going to go for a nice Negatron cloak and take the Force of Nature as well. Generally, if I build Force of Nature on Mundo, it's going to be more of a... Like, I would recommend it to be more of a extra item. As in, like, an additional item. Instead of, like, going for it as the first item. Because of the extra healing being so good on this champ, right? Like, you have so much healing in your kit that the increase in healing as a magic resist item for Spirit of Fish just generally outweighs the amount of value we'd get from the Force of Nature. But in a situation like this, where they have a lot of mage DPS, Force of Nature is a good addition instead of having to get it like as a base thing. Gonna get the turret. Could chase the Kokma there, but again, objectives take a priority. So if I can get a turret, I will absolutely take a turret. Here as well, I can get some free damage on this turret. Okay. Combo. Currently not too afraid. If they want to walk up to me, that's completely fine. As you can see at the moment, they really don't do any damage to me. Our team prevented me from hitting them there. Good. Ooh, you went for that. Thank you, buddy. Stand on top of him. Ooh, rat. Okay, I'll just smite him for the kill. I guess that wasn't needed, but whatever. Kill's a kill. Don't get hit by that. Good. Press Ghost. Then we go. Run him down. Let's go. Run him down. My boy. My boy. Thank you. Goodbye. Don't be afraid. That's all I have to say on Mundo. Really. That's mainly the thing. Just don't be afraid. You see like, don't run into 5 people willy-nilly. Don't get me wrong. That's way too aggressive. But right here as well, like, I really don't care that much, you know? Okay. Sure. Da-da-da-da-da. Sure. I'm a little bit unfortunate situation here that my Ahri is completely AFK. But, yeah. Okay, fair enough. If she would have dashed forward, I could have been completely fine. She had ult and everything, so I kind of assumed she was going to do something, which is my bad, obviously. I expected too much from a teammate. It's all good. But as you can see, even there, like, right, even expecting somebody to help you when they don't, look at how much damage I took in that fight. And it took him a solid 45 seconds to kill me. If the Ahri would have helped me there, right? Like, only if, I would have been absolutely fine. Because at that moment in time, she definitely would have had enough time to, like, dive the Kokma and get him out of the fight, for example. Or, like, help me deal with Nico by charming her once. Or, like, just examples, right? Again, saying it doesn't matter that she doesn't help because I'm expecting them not to help. It is low elo and it is what it is. But I just want to show you that even in a situation like this, as long you have so much room to press forward, because I survived 4 people for 45 seconds or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't even really close. But obviously, in that situation, it is my bad for assuming that my Ahri is going to actually play the way I expected her to play and dash forward. So that is definitely not good on my side. I probably should have played a little bit safer, but I just want to show you that it doesn't matter. You don't have to worry about it too much, because you can survive a lot. Seems that this guy ends the game at this point, which should be fine. Alright, solid enemy team FF'd it. There we go. I will do another one with a similar, like literally same strategies to show you how consistent it can be. And yeah, because it's 2 seconds. Okay, so before we move into the game, actually, I'll show you the endgame stats really quickly for this one. I have done 24.7k damage, which is by far the most here. So you can definitely see that working out quite well. We have then damage to objectives at 42.9, whatever we could get, really. We did lose a couple of dragons, obviously, but for the most part, still high damage. Healing done, 35.1. Damage taken, 44k. On top of that, self-mitigated at another 42-ish k. So I took like an absorbent amount of damage compared to the rest of the game, right? While also at the same time dealing the most here, as you can see. So by a good margin as well. So that's why this champion is so good. I just wanted to quickly show that at least. And we'll move into the next game now. Alright. Time for the second game for this video. We're going to apply the same strategy. We are on the other side of the map now, which is beautiful. Ended up working out quite well. Yeah, we're going to start top side again. Clear down, like earlier. It's going to be the same strategy as before. In about 50 seconds, you want to back. Place your ward on the other camp that you aren't going to start on. That way you have coverage on that. So if you do get, or if you do happen to get invaded, it will be a scenario where you can adapt potentially to it. So that is why you place this ward. Also having the Oracle lens for gank potential is good as well. But yeah, full clear top down. Same strategy as before. Clear towards dragon. And see like what gank opportunities we're going to be able to get. Start Q. He wants to walk into it, he can. I'll walk into it. I don't really care. Let's go. Oh, all here. Good. I'll stand in the bush in case I do show up then. Because he seems to be worried about something, so... yeah. Don't have to get a leash on Mundo once again. Like, I didn't get it the previous one. You don't have to get it now. But you can. Really. It's okay. Decent enough leash to the point where I don't really have to smite that one. I'm not going to smite this one early, by the way. Because I want to get, like, high health cleavers off. If I insta-smite that, that would be slightly worse. If I don't do that, we're just going to focus this one and then let the pet kill the small ones. This side of the map is a little bit more... like, starting red's a little bit more awkward for Mundo because you have less abilities up to deal with AoE camps. Because I don't have my W, for example, right now. So it's going to be slightly slower than a blue start would be when you're doing it. Because Mundo at that point has less of an issue with the camps. You should have more AoE potential damage if there is something going on. What is happening here? Oh my god. Interesting, interesting. Again, I'm looking for just one thing, right? Just get that nice full clear done. Very consistent, top down. See if we can look for plays. I don't know what the hell went on there with my team, but that's okay. Good. We'll just do the Grom first for a better respawn on this. For the next rotation. Instead of doing blue here. That's good for doing that. That's good going into this side doing this first. Because it's just a better spawn rotation for you the next time around. That off. Good. There we go. And then we just cleaver this down. The good situation now, if your bot lane is pushed in like this, a bot lane gank is going to be very likely. So that's probably something we are going to be looking for. Smite that out. And maxing Q first. There is a bot lane gank opportunity here. So let's just walk up, ping a couple times. Seems to be warded. That's fine. This is why we have the sweeping trinket. We just clear this. We're waiting for the scuttle to spawn. So we're just going to take the scuttle on spawn now. And after that, we might go back bot lane if possible. Otherwise, I will look for a mid lane play perhaps. Like if the laners are pushed in like this. Like again here, this guy is pushed in like this. So we're just going to walk up to him. That's all we really have to do. Just use that dash thingy as well. I am a very strong Mundo. With the cleaver. Going to walk past this side. Make sure to just try to hit your cleaver consistently, because that's going to help you with your approach velocity. So it's going to give you extra speed like that. And then kind of in this situation, because we got to this point, we can actually transition this. Because again, same rule here. This guy pushed up, so we're just going to walk at him. I did my full clear already. All we have to do is walk at him now. I'll pop my ghoster because he's kind of risking it on low HP. Make sure to try to hit your cleavers the entire time. Put my potion as well. Actually, should have done that sooner. That's gonna cost me my life. No. The small mistake. This Jace could have killed him there. By the way, he was too afraid to auto attack from distance. But I needed to pop my potion. That's stupid. Because I didn't pop my potion, I actually lost that fight. Which is very bad, obviously. It's still not necessarily my fault, because Jace could have killed the Garen if he would have just auto-attacked him from a distance when he was focusing me. But obviously not ideal that I didn't pop my potion. I made a slight whoopsie on that one. It's okay, though. It doesn't affect me too much. We're just gonna clear down here now. Same concept still. My entire jungle is up, so it's just gonna be a thing now. Fortunately, that didn't work out for me too well, but that's acceptable. It is what it is. I made a slight error. You can make a slight error. It all happens. It is what it is. And we just clear, get this, and we'll do the dragon pretty much as soon as we can. Clearing towards it right now. So that's what we'll be looking for. Good, level 5. Just do wolves, then do gromp, and then we'll look for the dragon. If we see a bot lane gank opportunity, we can go for it. If not, it's fine. Hit the E on a small one here so you can hit it through the camp. I do have an extra smite right now, so that's something to look at as well. Use that on gromp still. Always want to make sure you have a smite ready for dragon though. Good kill on Yone for my Jace rotation there. Try not to smite early, because again, max health lethal damage. So you want to make sure that you smite it a little late like this. Okay, this is all good. No serious opportunities here. We're just gonna do dragon. Ping a couple assist pings. Pray that your team starts following this up. Basically. If they don't, then you should generally be fine. Mundo for the most part will be able to do things, but it gets a little dicey initially, because you do lose quite a bit of health here. So if you do have somebody that helps you out, that would be greatly beneficial to you. But even without it, as you can see, I would still be fine. It'd just be a lot more risky overall. Don't be too low HP when you're starting that though, because that would be really bad. That moment in time. Now, one thing I want you to note here, just a small thing that can influence a play like this. You see this respawning, right? We just saw the Zac on top side. So one thing I will do for his buff camp here is, because I saw him there, I will take this. And that's the only reason. If I didn't see him, I wouldn't have done this. But because I know where he was very, very recently, he wasn't going to be here, right? Like, even if he would have been here, it would have been slightly too late. So we're just going to take this and recall. All I needed, all I wanted. Just a little bit of a, instead of a gank type play here, we take the dragon. We saw him in a bad position, so we can quickly go for it. And we're fine. And there we go. We want to go for this item first. So take a double health crystal. Good. And now you can see all my camps are respawning. Now, one thing to note here, once again, we see the enemy top laner pushed in, or actually pushing into my Jace. Jace is kind of low. Garen is probably going to stick around. So what we're going to do, similar tactic as the previous one, is walk top lane. That thing is disabled, I guess. He used his ignite. This guy is definitely going to stick around because he is low HP. So as long as my Jace doesn't run it here, we should be getting a free kill. If the enemy, if my Jace would have been pushing this guy into the turret, I obviously wouldn't have gone for this. But this is an opportunity. Top lane is pushed in. We can go for it. He does have a ward, so I'm going to have to ghost. Which is fine. Build for that last hit, because that last third hit was looking a little dicey there, perhaps. Gonna push in the wave here. There we go. Just got the wave cleared so the Jace can recall. He can ping you all he likes, but I gave him every single bit of farm, and now he can just recall instantly, and the wave will be in turret. It is always recommended to do that, because if I don't help him fast push there, he doesn't have the mana to push by himself. So they will complain, perhaps, but as long as you don't take every single farm from him, you'll never have any foot to stand on, really. And it is the correct play to help push, especially if he's low HP, low mana. You have to help push. There's no other option. So that's what I did there. Help him push, give him the CS, and he will be fine. Now we have an entire jungle rotation up. We saw the Zac bot side earlier, by the way. So because of that, we take the objective once again. Objectives are king. So in that situation, we see where Zac is. We go for the objective. We see a good opportunity for it. We take it. And now, keep the consistency. Our next objective is going to be my entire jungle. Get a nice rotation down again. We saw the top lane play. It worked for us. So we take the rest now. And that is all it is. After this full clear, we can then see if top lane would be a potential gank opportunity. Yes or no. And yeah, go from there. That is awkward. Just gonna ult him. I'm just gonna, okay. I was initially a little careful there. I kind of griefed that one a little bit too hard. I'll smite him so that damage will kill. Okay, well, he kind of just walked into us, right? So we're just gonna do something. I don't have ult there, so I don't want to be the target focus. So I'm gonna wait a little bit until he commits a little bit more damage towards the towards my top laner. So he's never gonna switch targets to me again. It's a small tactic there, really. Obviously, you could have just started auto-attacking him from the start there if that would have been your thing, but yeah. He switches to me there without my ult and I get executed. I'd lose a lot of jungle tempo, and that's not something I would enjoy. But that's why I played it the way I played it. In case you're wondering, I waited slightly. Getting the kill or not getting the kill really isn't that big of a deal either, by the way. Like, in that situation, Jay's getting it's completely fine. There we go. I'm also making sure here, as you can see, that I use cleavers on camps that are, or like things that are higher HP. And try to finish off like the blue there with my auto attacks instead. Doesn't land a binding. Hopefully lands a binding. Or he lands a binding. Beautiful. Good. Take the kill there. So cleaver, this guy stands still. That's interesting. And at this moment in time, Dragon's gonna spawn relatively soon, so I'm just gonna push this wave out and then just share a bunch of turret plate gold with my 80 carry. Just, yeah, use that Rift Herald. Rift Herald takes a full 10 seconds to place and everything when it before it like hits and stuff. We're gonna get the turret to like lower plates first, and then we place the Herald like this. If you have a red or a blue trinket, it insta refreshes. The reason I do this is because the Rift Herald always takes a certain amount of plates or a certain amount of damage on the turret. And the turret gets tankier the lower HP it gets. So it's something you have to think about. Because then you will be more likely to actually finish off the turret in a closer situation. Hey, there's no way to engage this, right? Dragon's respawning now. Potentially bot scuttle is up. 30 seconds on smite should be in time for the dragon. Use this auto attack reset there. Gets the recall. That's fine. Good. I'll take my scuttle first. I'll just wait for my smite cooldown a little bit, and then we'll do dragon. Try not to stand next to the dragon when he jumps up, because it causes you to lose your passive, which you don't want. Because any fight that breaks out now, you'd want to have your passive ready for it, right? And then we just cleaver this down. Just auto attack it, and then cleavers will do a ton of damage, as you can see every time. They're 465 right now. Oh god. Finish it off good. That's all I needed. This guy's not going to be able to do anything against me. I'm just going to auto attack him down here. He starts like using any of his abilities to try to CC me. It's not going to work either. Cleaver. Don't have to press ghost. He passived himself and he's dead now. Low HP. We press my ult. True damage from Valkyries is a little scary, but I still have my ult, so I should be fine. He doesn't have any mana, so he's dead here. And you finish him off. Make sure to use your E as an auto attack reset, and then you're fine. Right there, again, key thing there, I use my ult when I'm low HP, and I just start hitting people. Like, if they walk into me like that and start, like, it's fine. I have a lot of gold. Didn't really initially want to take a fight. But if he lets me get free lethal tempo stacks like that, just auto attack him, man. That's all you need to do. It's very simple, straightforward stuff. Let's take this, and then we'll take the Sunfire as well. Don't really need mercs this game, so I mean there are situations where Mundo needs mercs, by the way. Like if they have a super heavy CC, like one CC thing is not going to be enough, obviously. Those moments mercs are good, but yeah, same concept here. Top wave is pushed in. We're gonna see if we can go for a top gank. This guy seems to be walking away quite far though, so because of that reason I will just go for these camps. If we would have walked up, if we would have stood in a position where I would have gone for a gank, where it would have been an option, I would have done it. But he didn't, so we don't. Camps will be camps at that moment in time. There we go. Let's do this one. Hit the level up before I walk. Oh, wow. Okay, that's kind of sucks. Right. I don't... That's warded. They instantly pathed a little weird. It's just intuition. I figured it'd be warded. I don't have ult right now, so I don't want to commit to something too hard. I really have to keep in mind, like without Mundo ult, you're significantly weaker, so I want you to notice that as well. They kind of allow me to do a bunch of stuff here, it's fine. My ult's gonna be back up soon, so if they do want to take a fight at this point, it'll be fine. This is just one of those situations where I was like, okay, fine. We're going to walk up here. Rift Herald, we're going to notice. It's going to spawn in 10 seconds. So my priority is going to shift to that. If this wasn't a buff camp, I would have left it. And I would have just walked like Scuttle and Rift Herald. But because it's red buff and red buff is extremely valuable, we take this first. Okay, good. And we'll just look. Like my team can basically do whatever they want right here. Because my priority is just the objective right now. If they want to force a fight into me, that's fine. But I want to prioritize the Rift Herald here. I make sure to finish the Scuttle there first before I start Herald, because it was going to be my Smite upgrade. And I actually want to have the obviously better Smite going into an objective. So if that was an option, I would have done, like, I would definitely take that first. If that wouldn't have been a level up there, I wouldn't have really gone for this Rift Herald, or I wouldn't have gone for that first. I would have just done the Rift Herald initially, because that then would have just been better, if that makes sense. Because it just want to be faster on the objective clear then at that moment, and we can clear that afterwards. Just smite him then. Okay, Jay's flashed down, I guess. Finish off the turret here real quick. Make sure the auto attack reset with your E as well. Good. You see a low HP target like that on under turret, the diving is always worth it, really. So, yeah. Finish this off. And we're just going to recall now, because this guy's recalling. I'm going to lose pressure on the map, and my entire bot side is up. Dragon's going to be like 1 minute 20, so that's something we want to keep in mind as well. Here we go. Same build as before. Like, just always go with this build setup here. Go Titanic into Sunfire into your Radiant. I don't know if I've explained this before, but the Radiant is the one you want to go for, because the hard steel that a lot of Mundo players use for like top lane purposes is not good in jungle. You're not going to get consistent enough stacks, and it doesn't provide clear speed. So rushing it doesn't make sense because it doesn't provide additional clear speed compared to like Sunfire or Titanic, and it doesn't stack very nicely in the jungle. You don't have a consistent thing to stack it on with your opponent, your lane opponent. So that makes Radiant better. It pretty much holds the same value because it gives you max HP as well in those moments. We're just going to press Ghost. I can't do anything against this. We land the Cleaver, and we just auto attack and to death here, basically. Easy things with Mundo. Yeah, that's really the reason why we go Radiant. I also don't know if I've mentioned this yet, this video, but I mean, if you're watching at this point still, then, you know, I'm very close to 50k subscribers, and about 60%, 65% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So if you do enjoy my content, consider subscribing. It would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, right here I'm I'm gonna want to use the Herald on the turret here. The reason I want to do this is because this turret is literally worth 600 gold if you kill it. I might not be able to get it here entirely this moment in time, but at this moment I'm not really risking a dragon or anything like that. Okay, might get a little low here, but that's fine. Again, holding my ultimate until the last moment. I have to use it actually slightly sooner against the Garen. I should have thought about that instantly, actually. Because if I don't use it like sooner against Garen, he could execute me with his ult, so I almost made a slight mistake. I'm gonna focus the turret down, and we're just gonna run down the EMF after that. Land the Cleaver. Finish him off. We see a Velkos. We go for him. Good. You're basically just a raid boss. Like, just don't press your ult too early is all I have to say for the most plays. Like, most plays will result you in like, you can just run at them, just auto attack them a bunch of times, land your cleavers. Like, that's the biggest thing, obviously. Like, keep consistently landing your cleavers and auto attack reset with your E. Make sure to just click your W at some point throughout the fight. Don't hold it the entire time. But yeah, that's really all it is. The biggest like skill issue, I guess, besides landing your cleaver, I suppose, is gonna be actually ulting at low HP. Okay, well, I guess I can't recall here. The problem here is I don't really want to take the fight. That teleport was quite poor. Like, it doesn't really do anything. I only canceled my recall there because the Zek jumped in, and I didn't want to not help with that initially. But I'm gonna recall here. Good. Do I need magic resist? I need some, yes. Okay, we're again, priority goes towards this thing because of the additional healing. So we'll take that. And then we just go for the topside camp here. I'm doing this, like, we're basically clearing for the red buff right now. Waiting for it to spawn, so I'm going to clear these two camps. I'm not going to go full clear right now, because at this stage in the game, full clearing wouldn't be worth it. Since that would take too much time. And, well, unless my team completely dies, then I guess I can. But, because at that point, I'm going to have to wait for them anyway. But I want to wait for my red buff here and then just start pressing forward a bit more. Because at that point, pressing forward is going to be a good move. You want to start taking the enemy jungler scams if you are, like, creating a lead for yourself. You want, like, if your team is playing up like this, you want to take those opportunities more often, obviously, as well. You want to be closer towards your team in most situations. Take this. So we're going to look for all the topside camps now. Starting Baron could be possible as well, something to look at. But for me right now, I'll just walk in here, yoink all his camps, play with the fact that my Jace is also walking forward right now. Put a ward here. For this. And this moment in time, I'm making sure here that I'm kind of close towards my Jace, towards somebody that actually is walking and pushing up. Finish him off with just auto attacks. Again, we're gonna hold our ult the entire time here. I'll press my ghost as well, actually. Gonna keep auto attacking until we take too much damage. The moment we take too much damage is the moment we will press ult. Okay, against the Garen, we have to do it slightly early, so we're gonna use it here, because we don't have another choice. And there we go. Great balls moment. This is why, like, this champion, I recommend it. And you just hold on to your ult. You're perfectly chilling. I'm kind of curious if I can do this. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I think I might be okay. Pretty sure I should be fine, but yeah. That's, like, the biggest thing in those fights, as you can see, is just auto-attack the entire time. Use your E for resets. Make sure to click your W, land your Qs, and then only ult when you're low HP. Don't try to click it too fast. There's no reason to. You have Ghost, take that as your movement speed boost if you need it. And that's really all you need. And as you can see right here as well, we're easily chilling on this Baron. Not a problem whatsoever. There we go. Soloed it. Beautiful. And we press recall again. 1 minute 30 on Dragon, so that's got to be my next focus. Really. Let me see here. Some healing reduction is going to be great against that team. So we'll take the Thornmail next. I don't need the healing reduction. I can go for Stoneplate as well, because Stoneplate gives double resistances, which is obviously really nice. And the shield scales of bonus HP, which on Mundo you get a lot from. So it is a very, very solid item. But if I need the healing reduction, I'll get the Stoneplate at this point. Or if I don't need the healing reduction, sorry. If I do need the healing reduction, I will get the Thornmail, obviously. And healing reduction against Zac, this guy with shield bow, is going to be very effective. If it would have just been like his shield bow, I wouldn't have gone for the Thornmail, but the Zac kind of shifts that quite massively. Like champions like Zac and Vladimir, Mundo as well, if you would be facing a Mundo, I suppose, then Thornmail instantly becomes a lot, or like healing reduction becomes instantly a lot more valuable. All we have to do against this guy is just land our cleavers. Like, as long as you're landing your cleavers, he can never run away from you. Not really, because you have approach velocity. There, keep landing it. All you have to do, like, as you can see, literally all I have to do is keep landing cleaver. Now, the first thing I'm gonna do here is walk away and go for Dragon. Because objectives take priority over anything, and this is an Infernal Soul. Literally soul point, so I'm not gonna walk or push for this. We could push, like, the inhibitor down here as a team, perhaps. But for me, doing this just takes priority. And yeah, Infernal Soul point is just huge. You can see here, if it jumps up, you lose your passive. It matters more in the early game than now, because now obviously the cooldown on this is just way lower. But yeah, we take this as a priority. Whatever my team does is whatever my team does. It's fine. But Infernal Soul is very, very valuable. We weren't going to be able to push necessarily on double turret, so it's just going to be an inhibitor. But I definitely would like to take an Infernal Soul over anything else. Okay, team's going pretty aggressive. We're just going to walk up to them now. Okay, clean that up, that's fine. Get that out of the way, and we'll just walk at Misfortune. Land the cleaver, miss the cleaver. Auto attack first, then E, don't lead with E. Big thing there. We're just gonna... I don't think we can actually... I mean, I might be able to just end it myself, to be fair, but... I'll show you some Mundo moments, I guess, why not? Started ulting me, that's fine, nothing you can do. Finish him off with E. I'll just ult here for the hell of it. Ah, that's game. But yeah, you can clearly see things with Mundo there. Yeah, I mean, that's really all it is. The method is very consistent, and yeah, well, I'll see you guys in the endgame stats for this one as well, I suppose. Okay, so for the endgame stats for this one, I ended up doing 28.3k, which is the most. It actually came fairly close. Obviously, like, I took some priority towards Dragon, so I lost a little bit of damage towards certain team fights, but I think more objectives, especially this ELO bracket, just consistency on that is bigger, more important than like one random fight. True damage at 3k. We have damage to objectives at 70.1, which is obviously insane. This is the type of stuff you want to see, like a consistency towards objectives. In the first game of this one, the Nocturne was kind of on point with it for certain dragons, which will happen from time to time. For the most part, people will kind of leave those dragons and let you get them for the most part. As long as you clear top down, you can just clear into it and be fine. Very nice objective damage, always good. Healing done, 34.3. We have damage taken at 32.7, which is very good. And we have self-mitigated damage with that at 31.8. Little bit less overall damage taken in this specific game, but also, yeah, well, just less HP percentage damage, I suppose, from the enemy team. More difficult to deal with me on that in those moments. Like the last one had like Kokma and like Teemo Shrooms with like Leandries and stuff. Makes things more awkward. Gold earned here for the super consistent clear, like making sure clear top down every time. Got 16.3k gold. I am also level 18, I think. 17. Level 17 compared to the rest of this, just for that consistency, right? Like just literally that. And then yeah, lethal tempo. I mean, I guess stats here are to finish it off. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button below. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another one. Bye.